Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, the 31st of March. I'm back in the reading nook with some parcels to unbox and, of course, a cup of tea on what is a bright, warm, and sunny afternoon. And I am getting to the bottom of this box. So already I have pulled out the new core set for Deadlands, the Weird West, which uses the new version of the Savage Worlds rules. And I also looked at the Horror Heads Downhill, which is the new plot point campaign for Deadlands, the Weird West. And below that, what we have is Deadlands, the Weird West Companion. Essentially, it says you need a partner, or you need a partner. From the high plains to the canyons of the Great Maze, the Weird West is a mighty dangerous place. Any cowpoke worth his salt knows it's better to have some extra firepower by your side. The same goes for you, Marshal, and you wouldn't do better than the Weird West Companion. Inside these twisted pages you'll find new harrowed edges, new arcane backgrounds like voodooists and witches, and a whole passel of relics to put your posse through their paces. In addition to these extra options for players, we include some advice on marshalling your game, an overview of the big plot pack campaigns that made the Weird West what it is today, information on the hunting grounds and running adventures in it, and famous rascals, and a bone-chilling adventure in the Black Hills called the Horse Eater. So round up a couple of brave comrades, Marshal, and get ready to ride out. The Weird West awaits. So here's a map of the Weird West. Weird West. So that runs from essentially Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, and Louisiana in the east, all the way to the west coast, where Free City of Angels, Lost Angels, Sacramento, Portland, at Fort Lincoln, and so on, Sanfan or Shanfan there, and you've got the cracked coast of California, with the Great Maze having been formed by an earthquake, so automatically, here's what I like about this book, which I'm looking forward to reading. I've got a history of Deadlands. I love that kind of thing, because it means it will inform whenever I write about it, and it's also interesting, and essentially this shows you how the game progressed on its, and basically how it came to be what it is today. So what you've got here is you've got a map of the original books, and then basically the subsequent editions. So this is the first Savage Worlds version. You've got basically the splitting of the two books into the Player's Guide and the Marshal's Guide. Because the thing is about Deadlands now is really the Savage Worlds version is the one that really brought everything together, because earlier versions had developed the background and story through multiple supplements. This, the Deadlands version, and down to the most recent supplement, the campaign setting supplement, basically compiled everything into one book. Not everything, but essentially all of the plots and background and so on that was, have been doled out over the various supplements. So what we've got in here, basically chapter 1, we've got harrowed edges. Essentially, the interesting thing is that in Deadlands, one of the big secrets, and it's been known for years, so it's not that big a secret, it's the fact that you can come back from the dead. To come back to fight the evil that besets of the reckoners that besets the land, and this gives you new options in terms of edges that the character can have. So it might be Death Mask. Useless edge allows a harrowed to appear as she did when she still drew breath, negating others' friendly attitudes, and the harrow's innate -2 persuasion penalty. Essentially, its effect is a minor illusion, but if the harrow is shaken, stunned, or suffers one or more wounds, must make a spirit roll to keep the disguise active. detect arcana automatically sees through this effect. But you can have a essentially you can have a Hellsteed. Essentially, rigor mortis. The harrow can inflict terrible pain on everyone who gets too close to his cadaverous corpse. And metal mages, a new age for mad scientists. Essentially combines new science with the magic of hucksters. Essentially, essentially allows them to cast any power available to mad scientists, even those who don't, and so on. And you've got US Marshals, which basically characters who are law enforcement agents across the broken basically North America, voodooists, which would have come from the Deadlands, basically more recently seen the Deadlands noir setting. So there we go. That. Witches as well. I don't know, like that. Which is great if you want to do basically magic and goth country music, I suppose. Relics, great. Basically, great treasures of the age. So, for example, Billy the Kid's hat. Essentially, which grants a Billy that was notoriously lucky. He survived gunfights. Most others didn't. Escape from jail cells and captors on multiple occasions. Anyone who finds this dirty, raggedy old top hat gets an extra penny per game session. But at the same time, the hat's wearer gains the overconfident hindrance. So lots of relics like that. So even right down to Excalibur and the Holy Grail. There we go, there's the Holy Grail. Pages and pages. And then we get on to advice for the Marshal for running Deadlands. So we're going to basically talk about the genre, the spaghetti western genre there. And how to handle the horror and cosmic fear, describing monsters and effects. And then we come on to basically if the opening section described the history of the game essentially as an intellectual property, I suppose is what you would call it. Then we come on to the story thus far and what's gone on in terms of the background and really tying it into sort of the products have come past this. So it's looking at the different big plot point campaigns that have come along. So covering, let's have a look. The Flood, which 1879 to 1880. Then The Lost Sons, 1880-81. Stone in Our Hard Place and Good Intentions are the big plot point campaigns for Deadlands, and it basically covers those here. It basically gives each sort of like a page or so explaining what they're about. But they're all worth tracking down if you don't have copies, because there's no reason why what you couldn't do is you could run a prequel campaign to running any one of them. And then we go on to the hunting grounds where the Reckoners can be found, essentially, basically it's the where nature spirits and the like live, but also shades of mortals and forces of destruction like the Four Horsemen also dwell there. So essentially it's the spirit realm, equivalent to the spirit realm for the Deadlands setting, and you've got more details on various spirits like the Manitous that can be found there, the nature spirits and more, and great beasts like that. Some fantastic artwork there. That's almost like a Chthonian, but it's obviously something entirely different. And then we have famous rascals like Sam Bass and Crazy Horse, Martha Calamity Jane Canary, given full stats. So the players could run into them as part of their campaign. William Batmarston, there we go, down description down there, and then his stats on the following page. So there. So yeah, these are all. So even you've got people which people were familiar from the TV, so like Al Swearingen, whom you all know from Deadwood there as well. And then you have the Horse Eater. It's an adventure which originally appeared in Shardis 28 many years ago, and is reprinted here. So that's fine. Which basically adds something which the player, the marshal can run at any point, and you've got an index. So that's the Weird West Companion. And essentially, it's published as part of the Kickstarter campaign, now available in print, and really the sort of like you've got everything you kind of need to run a Deadlands campaign between the core set, the horror at Headstone Hill, and this companion. So in the meantime, I'm going to look forward to reviewing this. Obviously it's going to take a while whilst I get through the Savage Worlds titles I've got. So basically the GM's book, and then the screen and mini setting, and then the books for Deadlands. But the reviews to those links will appear down below. In the meantime, thank you for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click the like button. If you've got any feedback or comments, then I take the time to read them and respond as necessary. And if you want to be alerted to yet more videos of me sat out here in the garden talking about things like this and other and books I receive in the post, please do subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another unboxing in the Nook very soon. Bye for now.